great experience.
Oh, yeah. Look, my job was for me and my daughter to be in Silver Beach with a table and eat to the world.
Oh, nice.
So,
Good for you. What a great experience for them.
so, I saw that over 3,000.
Well, at least a good game, right?
Yeah.
That's the big one.
I mean, I may not be.
We still don't go to football.
Funny, that is a big draw.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not fighting city traffic.
Right.
You're in and out of there relatively. Yeah.
These are wife and son, and so right.
Yeah, that's yours.
It was three. I can't remember which year, but.
Still playing with their
Yeah.
I mean, where the teams feel slighted, you know what I mean? They might just be on coast mode.
You know what they do?
I mean, the both teams, there were and I think we should have did.
Shokwe, and Bob is doing the invocation.
Good morning and welcome to the County of Berrien. It is a pleasure to have you here this morning as we conduct the business of the county. As a reminder, turn off or silence all electronic devices during the duration of our meetings. Any materials that you wish to have distributed to the board, please do so by giving it to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Jim Kern. And during the appropriate times in our agenda, if you wish to address the board, please do so by going to the podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to speak on whatever matter it is that you wish to address the board on. With that, we will open this with an invocation led by Commissioner Bob Harrison, followed by a moment of silence, and then the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Pitchford.
Please join with me. Thank you, Lord, for the privilege of meeting here today. Please give us your strength, wisdom, and guidance. Grant us your blessings as we work together with pride and patriotism to further the aims and purposes of Berrien County, not only for our veterans, their families, and our local communities. Thank you for preserving our nation where justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty reside. Help us foster peace and understanding, joy in our lives, and give us the patience to listen to others. Please, Lord, also grant your unfailing love to each of us as we go about our days, and keep us in your memory. Please keep our emergency responders, our men and women in the military, and keep the emergency responders in Los Angeles safe so they can return to their families. And so now if we could have a moment of silence with respect for former President Jimmy Carter. Thank you.
Turn to the front of the room and repeat after me. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. Appreciate that. And now roll call.
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
sorry, thank you. Freeling,
Yes, present.
Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman is absent. Ott,
Here.
Tyler, here. Pitchford,
Here.
Walrath,
Here.
Werfel,
Here.
Yarborough. Elliott is absent. You have 10 present and 2 absent.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the January 2nd organizational meeting. Everyone's received those?
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Pitchford. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Volrath. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Communications, I believe we had a few. Sorry.
I've had 2 communications for the board. One from MIHI on their latest happenings. And Leelanau County shared a resolution as adopted at their November 19th regular session meeting.
Thank you. I believe everybody would have received those communications electronically. All right, the next portion of our agenda is public comments regarding resolutions that are on the agenda for today. Anyone wishing to make a comment on those resolutions can do so by going to the podium, state your name and jurisdiction. Are there any public comments?
I was wondering if I could get a copy of your code of ethics.
So this portion right now is for our resolutions that we
Yeah, I
have for
understand.
consideration of action. But I appreciate your question and we will,
Do you want me to come back when you?
no,
No,
you're
okay.
fine.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Are there any other public comments on resolutions that we have for action today? All right. Hearing none, we'll close that portion and move on to the consent calendar with those resolutions for consideration. I haven't had anyone ask to have any of the resolutions removed from the consent calendar. So I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Pitchford. Is there support?
Support.
You can't. Support by Commissioner Harrison. And now discussion, Commissioner Tyler.
I will have to abstain from resolution F2501013 because I signed it as county clerk. And I'm doing it in an abundance of caution. Also, I am abstaining to requisition 75125 regarding First Church of God for $92,928 due to my daughter-in-law was the writer of the grant and sometimes assists with service.
We appreciate you disclosing those items, and we will make sure that that is made record in the minutes. Is there any other items that need discussion on the consent calendar? All right, hearing none. We will do a roll call.
Kern,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Nicolman is absent. Ott,
Yes.
Pitchford,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Walrath,
Yes.
Whirlpool, Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Elliott is absent. You have 10 yeas and 2 absent.
All right, so all of the consent calendar, including the adder resolutions, have been approved. Now we move on to committee reports, and we will start with admin. Commissioner Kern.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. First in to see us this morning was the sheriff and the undersheriff, and Commissioner Volrath would like to report out on that.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, Chuck in, our undersheriff, Greg were in this morning. According to the reports we've been getting, the numbers at the jail have been going up a little bit the last 10 days or so, but still quite a bit underneath the threshold needed for attention. We did find out from Chuck this morning that Three Oaks apparently is going to discontinue their contracting for police work from the village of Three Oaks, and they will be one of several townships in the county that do not have their own designated police, but they will be, you know, when a call comes in, first available closest will be responding to the emergency or whatever's needed there. So that's being looked at now, and Chuck gave us that information this morning. He also wanted to compliment his detectives because they've broken a couple of cases with some technology that hasn't been available before. He wasn't going to tell us what that is, but a couple of burglaries that were most recent that were solved pretty quickly where he just wants to compliment them for their hard work on those things because they do. And calls for service, Niles Township is below 400 last month, so they were down. Maybe the holidays got them in a good spirit. I don't know. For some reason, there was less than 30,000 meals served last month, and with a full 31 days, I'm not sure how that come about, but 29,857. And we had 3 new employees come in December. One part-time support services deputy, Rita Badgewell, records clerk, and Bailey Swisher is a part-time animal control officer. So we welcome those 3 to the county sheriff's department. And that's my report.
Thank you, Dave. After the sheriff was Mark Heiliger, our road department director. Mark brought us up to speed on a culvert replacement, Browntown Road culvert. 2 years ago, the road department contracted with Whiteman Associates to do inspections and locations of culverts in the county. And this is one that Whiteman found, and it is failing. Mark brought it to our attention because it's gonna be an expensive replacement, and it's probably gonna take well into this year for everything to get done. And they're gonna replace it with the concrete prefab like they have other ones. So he brought us up to speed on that. At this time, he didn't tell us there was gonna be any road closure. It just narrowed the road a little bit, but they're still able to use it. He brought us up to speed on the winter operations. He said he has 10 of his 10 snowplows in operation. And these are trucks, if you remember, we ordered these way back in 2023, and they're now in service. So that's a good thing. He also talked about tree trimming and vegetation is continuing. He said, actually, this time of year is an ideal time to do that kind of work. So they've been out doing that. He brought us up to speed on the Steed Drain project, which is going to close Union Pier Road for about 8 to 10 weeks. So he wanted us to be aware of that. It's not actually a road department project, but he was making us aware that that is going to close the road. I believe it's a drain project. Met with all the townships. He did his township en masse Zoom, and 12 out of the 22 townships wanted to meet with him one-on-one. So he did those one-on-one meetings. He's also inviting all of us to the Southwest District Council meeting. And this is for the road departments, and it's in the Southwest District, which would be us, Cass, Van Buren, Allegan, Kalamazoo, maybe up as far as Ottawa. And by rotation this year, Mark is the chair. So he's chairing this. It's at 10 a.m. on February the 10th. It's not an all-day thing. It's like a couple hours, then you have lunch, and then you're dismissed. So if anyone would like to go, either get a hold of Brian or get a hold of Mark direct, and he'll provide all the information to you so you can go attend that. And that is my report on the road department. We only have one resolution for you the next time we get together, and this is just a road abandonment for Niles Township, and that's ending in 1116. Vice Chair came in after we adjourned, so we welcomed her back from Cozumel, which sounds like that was very good for you. You've been in very good spirits here this morning, and that's our report.
I appreciate that report. Am I not normally in good spirits? So that's the question.
I did not imply that you were not normally in good spirits. You're just in extremely better spirits this morning.
A little bit of sunshine and 85-degree temperatures will do that to a
Yeah, we'll do
person.
that.
Indeed. Well, thank you for that report. Are there any questions for admin? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to finance, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. This morning we met with Administrator Doucette, with Parks and Recreation Director Jill, and the young man that takes care of Silver Beach, Jason. And this evening, they're on the agenda, not the.
Monday night.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Monday nights at the St. Joseph regular meeting, we're on the agenda, our Parks and Recreation Department, because we would like to make a presentation and talk about a second lane that's being created by DLZ. They've been doing much of our work on our hopes and what we want to do for Silver Beach. And so they're on. If you would like very much to come to that meeting, they meet at 6. Do you know what time, St. Joe? At 6 p.m. Just to be back up or to, that you agree. They will be meeting, and we were shown maps and directions, and having gone to Silver Beach to many of the activities, you can see how they've been kind of doing that anyway to, like, 2 cars can go through, but they've been doing great study, and we want this to be right. So we had real good discussion with our committee, and we support what they're wanting to do. And that was in a waiver, $10,000, and it had already been set aside for DLZ to look at that, a second lane, a third lane, or what's the best way to get cars in and out of there. Then we had a bid that we received, and it was for, was that what that was? No, it's with the Daltons and with Whiteman. Is that, the bid was with Whiteman? And that's something that you all probably just brought to us from the other committees.
Road department.
From the road department. Thank you very much. And then I just want to look here at our waivers. I have a number of them. There is one for Metro Business to replace cabinets in the jail medical, and the budgeted amount was $15,500. And that's what we're asking for the waiver to be. And in our committee finance, we did not make motions on waivers, but we concur and agree that these are things that should be done. I'm trying to see what else there is here. A good thing, Dan Fetty came to us. There are so many things that we do and we realize, and just like your committee is working on policies and more things, that we needed to have a resolution for the Brownfield Authority and the County of Berrien. And so we're asking, it was in what we just voted for, the resolutions, number 107 and number 112 and number 013 were passed in today's resolutions. But we're making an agreement so that Dan Fetty can have the right to sign things and to be able to issue them out when it's kind of been something we needed to straighten out. And know that those kinds of resolutions will be coming to this is Brownfield with the land bank. And was there three? Were there three or two?
There'll be an interlocal agreement between landfill and Brownfield.
Okay, those two things. So for auditing purposes, because it's going to be brought to our attention, we want things to be clear and right. This is what I'm looking at. And then with the Berrien County Public Transportation, we have someone that has been working on our buses in Cass County. And he's done it for 2 years and he's doing a very good job. Because when we had to call in or had to take the bus somewhere in a year, it would be about $140,000 with Berrien bus. But this man with us setting an appointment with Cass County's garage, we're able to take our buses in and it's running about $50,000 a year. So that's something that we want to work and we'd like for it to be a 3-year agreement. That's what we've been doing. And right now we're in our 2nd year and satisfied with what's going on. I'd like to ask our committee, are there other things? We accepted our minutes. And that's, can you think of anything else? Okay, and that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for finance on what was reported out? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to, so used to turning over here for Bob and Bob's over here. We'll turn it over to personnel.
Thank you,
Mr.
Madam
Chair.
Vice Chair. We also met this morning. We took a look at 2 resolutions that will come to you later. One for hazardous household waste disposal, and another with respects to DLZ and work they're doing for the Parks Department. We also reviewed the schedule for reporting of our departments and when they'll come in and talk with us. We had a detailed report from Guy Miller regarding activities of the Health Department, including the funding and some of the priorities that they see. And they did submit an advanced step hire request for a new medical social worker, and we did review and approve that. We also talked about forthcoming resolution with Corwell for testing of medical procedures, so allow for electronic transmission of results between Corwell and the county health department. We had a lengthy discussion regarding the opioid settlement oversight committee, recruiting various individuals to meet the requirements of that group. And we're all going to make an effort to find someone there. We did have the opportunity to welcome our new member as well as the new clerk. So she found our committee to be fascinating and very diligent in completing our duties. So, and that would conclude my report.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for PHS? Commissioner Ott?
Is there any update on the negotiations for the staff, the payment the contract for
Well, I think we have a closed session regarding one of the contracts. And then the others are continuing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's perfect summary.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions for PHS? All right, hearing none, we will move on to commissioner reports. And Commissioner Bell, I'm going to start with you, if I may.
I received, an invitation to attend as a new commissioner to the SMART meeting, but they didn't tell me that they canceled the meeting. So I showed up in Cassopolis on Monday. And so they don't have me on the list yet. So my intent was in the positive. That's all for my report.
It was a nice day to go for a drive though, Sharon.
Yes, it was beautiful out.
After last week's meeting, I attended the BC bit. We're still moving right along with the broadband in the county. Everything's going well. That's my report.
I just want to reiterate what Bob had said about the opioid oversight committee, and maybe Brian could send out the list of the positions that are open on that committee, so that everybody, if you know anybody that would be interested in serving, there are 10 positions from people outside of the county that are open on that. And right now we have a whopping 3 applications. So there are specific categories, but there's also citizen openings. So, there's a lot of places that people can serve on that committee. So we do want to get more people involved. And then the only thing is the college football playoffs continue tonight. Michigan Wolverines are still your national champions.
And again, it's a reminder to the former sheriff, no pension increase, no tickets to the Orange Bowl. As a reminder, or just as a follow-up to Commissioner Warfel's comments, so the opioid committee that the board has taken action to create these 2 separate committees, but the stakes are relatively high with all things opioids. So over the last several years, the county board has worked through a series of negotiated settlements with the opioid manufacturers and distributors. So there's a significant amount of money that has flowed in. It is an 18-year period to spend down approximately, I want to say $8.1 to $8.2 million. Those dollars are very much intended to help with treatment and to help curb opioid addiction within Berrien County. And this is one that, if you're willing to help, we really could use some arm twisting, some selling to try and get more people applying to this committee. It's an important committee, and it's tasked with some high-level thinking as well as some high-level dollar considerations. So to the board, anytime that you can spend helping us get additional applicants will be appreciated. I will send out a reminder of the applicants we have, how to apply, and the importance of that committee. So Commissioner, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, and one last thing, as you said that reminded me, it's also the oversight of the 2 organizations that we have given dollars to. So it's to make sure that those 2 programs that we've said we want to invest in are being spent properly and that they're moving forward properly.
And I guess with the sales pitch still going, Berrien County has been recognized at the state level through Michigan Association of Counties. Berrien County's efforts on all things opioids really are being viewed as a statewide model. It's something that you all should be very proud of, the amount of work, but also a very thorough and fair process. It's one that we want to keep that momentum going. It's not often that you get mentioned in the MAC magazine. This is something that MAC has brought up repeatedly at the staff level. It's something that you all should really point to as a point of pride. So let's keep that momentum going. Thank you.
Thank you.
No report.
No report. All right. I just have a few things that I'd like to highlight to put on your radar and the public's radar. Oh.
Oversight committee, when is the deadline to get the applications in?
Well, yeah. As soon as possible.
Today?
So just as a reminder to everyone, it was about a year ago that we as a board approved that final, the two organizations that received the dollars. So it is time for a review of those two organizations, an annual review of how did those dollars go. So that's the first task that needs to happen. But there are other things also that we need to get going, which is why it's critical that we get this committee formed. It's unfortunate, I guess, that we didn't get it started earlier. But yeah, so as soon as possible, but we got to fill these positions. We can't start it with 3 people.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks for the heads up, Commissioner Kern. Just some things to put on the radar. The Berrien Conservation District will be holding their annual meeting. I don't know if anyone's received communication on that yet, but it's February 12th. It'll be at Lake Michigan Gardens, and it's on regenerative agriculture and what it can mean for you, your communities. So that is that date, February 12th, from 4:30 to 7:30. There will be a meal, and just wanted to put that on your radar. For the BC Bit meeting, I did attend that virtually, sitting poolside. It was nice. But we have, as a committee, been talking about the BEAD grant application that actually opens up today. And will be open until April 9th for internet service providers to be able to put together their plans of how they're going to reach all of the unserved addresses that exist within their proposed area of funding that they're seeking. And so we have been discussing doing a meeting gathering similar to what we had done with Robin, where the municipalities can come and talk to, hear from the different ISPs of what their plans are and potentially offer a letter of support. And so we're working on figuring out what dates may work best in that timeframe of the opening of the application for today through April 9th and what that might look like. So there'll be more information as things sort of solidify on our part.
To the commissioners, just if you're interested, so Kim Fedison this week has worked with our consultant with DCS Consulting and then Whiteman. We have an updated GIS map that shows essentially the last steps that have to be taken. So that updated map is on the BC Bit page. And what it will show you is every address within the county that now has service, but every address that it still is unserved. And those unserved addresses are the next target when we go after, when we try to solicit for BEAD applicants. Those are the target addresses that we're trying to focus on. You're getting really close.
Yeah.
BC Bit's goal was to try and get service to every address within the county. And the good news is you're getting close. The bad news is this is not a pool of funding that the county or the local units can go after. It is a pool of funding that the internet service providers have to go after. And so now it's once again that sales pitch. It's leaning on MEC and on SURF and Comcast, AT&T and others to try and show that we want them applying, to try and show them that we're willing to assist them with their applications, and then to just be actively encouraging them to go after this last round of funding, because my gut says this is going to be it. The really good news is if you look at that map, it's kind of shocking to see how far you all have come in less than 5 years. I mean, it is thousands of addresses that have been picked up. It's really good work.
So if you go to the BC Bit page on our website, you can actually click on that interactive map and it's real time. It is showing what's proposed to be built out, what is currently proposed or already built out, and then, as you had stated, those areas that are still being targeted that are unserved. The last date that I just wanted to put on everybody's radar is there is a point in time count happening for our homeless population within Berrien County. This is efforts that go on with the Housing Resource Network for Berrien County, and that is the 29th of January. In the areas that they're looking for some volunteers to target, and of course I put that away, would be Benton Township, the mall area, Coloma, Berrien Springs, Baroda, Still looking to see if I have that information here. Those are some of those areas that they're looking at targeting. And so if you're interested in volunteering or learning more, you can contact Katie Montoya from our Community Development Department to get more information on that. That's my report, and so I'll turn it over to the administrator if you have a report.
So just to close the loop, I wasn't able to make it down to admin. The PHS and the Finance Committee both today got briefings from your park staff showing what we're planning to do with Silver Beach to try and improve some of the traffic flow. Jill and I are both scheduled to go and talk with the City Commission this coming Monday, as Commissioner Yarborough noted. And to the commissioners, just the word of caution is just as we look at the summer of 25, what I've said to the two committees, and now I'm saying to the admin committee, is when you build $1 million+ worth of brand new playground equipment, and then immediately across the street, a new bathhouse is going up to complement the splash pad, I think it's a pretty good indicator that it's likely to be busy down there. And that this is one that I think that elected officials would be wise to have realistic expectations for how traffic will flow, knowing that this could be a banner year for total attendance at the beach. So with that said, Jill and I will be going Monday night and be talking with the City Commission. Yes, sir.
I do want to say something. Is it Lake Street? Is that the name of the street that comes out on the side there as it's going down into the lake that they're always complaining they can't get out of? Has it been brought up, and it's probably not a cheap process, but to put a detection pad there with a light? You know what I mean? So if someone comes there, it hits a light, they can get out easier, I would imagine.
So there's been a variety of solutions that are considered. There's been active consideration of electronic signage, redesign of the actual intersection. Additionally, at the staff level, there's been talks between the city and county about potentially looking at like a pedestrian bridge or even a pedestrian tunnel to try and improve people traffic flow as well as vehicle traffic flow. Honestly, this is a years-long issue. A whole lot has been built down there, and we are doing our very best at the county level to be cooperative and supportive of the city. We have an excellent relationship with them as far as the sharing of public safety and sheriff's deputies. But it is going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of cooperation to clean up some of these traffic movement issues.
Thank you for.
Yep, not a problem. Those are my comments, unless there's any questions for me.
Right. And I know that there was question on the opioid settlement oversight committee, and Annette had actually put this in front of me, I'm not sure when, but the areas that we're looking at trying to fill are areas for applications in the treatment center, Riverwood, clergy, regional education service agency, medical examiner, healthcare, and then citizen. So those are the areas that I think we're still looking to fill for those applicants. So if you know someone, send them to the county's portal to fill out the application. I believe it's on our website.
Yes.
Under board committees. So, all right, we now come to that point of general public comment on our agenda. Anyone that wishes to address the board can do so by going to the podium, state their name, jurisdiction, and they have 2 minutes.
Madam Chair, I'm going to
Yes.
go connect with one member of the audience to collect
Yes.
some information and get him that requested information.
Absolutely. Mr. Paul, our administrator is going to come to talk to you. And then we do need your name and jurisdiction. I do, Gunther, but we need it stated publicly for the records. If you want, you can just speak into the microphone that's right there.
My name is Gunther Paul. I live in Haver Township.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sir, if you step
Sorry
out
about
the
that. What's that?
Hey, here's another one.
Are there any public comments? And the administrator will be happy to talk with you.
Elser Hager, Sorry, I know that guy there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anybody, but I don't have the choice. I'm glad to kind of see a couple new faces here. I'm finally getting a chance to look at you from the front. You're always sitting over there, now it's on your back. Got a young lady over there, we got sunshine today too. So I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. I think I should have been there because well, it was an organization meeting. Some of the things that you guys discussed, I'm still mad at you because you're only having 4-night meetings. It should be the other way around. I think I mentioned that a few times before. You should have 4-day meetings and the rest should be at night. Now, where are the people that are paying their taxes? Where are they? Why are they not here? They are working to pay those taxes, are they not? That's why you should have the meetings in the evening. In the townships and the villages, they all have their meetings in the evening, so people can go there to complain or whatever, make suggestions too, you know. We got some brains too. We got some suggestions. Why don't you ask for it? Like when you're giving your reports, I should be able to answer or ask a couple of questions, instead of waiting till the end. By the time I get up here, people forget what I'm going to complain about. We should. When he gives a speech or when he comes up with something, I should have an input, right? Well, the people should have an input. Unfortunately, you don't want to hear what I have to say. A lot of times when I'm the only one here, I represent 52,000 people, right? What do you guys represent? You get 12? Then you got him. You got me outnumbered.
2 minutes, sir.
See what I tell you?
We appreciate your comments as always. Are there any other public comments at this time? All right, hearing none. There is no other business that I'm aware of. Is there? Yes?
Just so what happened to Sharon doesn't happen again, the CEO meeting, which is normally held the second Friday, is not being held in January. So if anybody was thinking of going to that, it's not going to be held this month. The chamber is really working, Sarah said, to get the morning, the breakfast awards meeting, I think it is. That's early February, so please attend that. And then the CEO will get going after that again.
Thank you.
Just as a quick update, that breakfast awards meeting through the chamber, the Parks Department is one of the applicants for the community award. So
nice.
I'll get more information pushed out to the board as we get closer.
Wonderful. Any other business? All right, so the next item that's on the agenda is a closed session for MCL 15.268C. This is for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement for either negotiating party to request a closed hearing. And this is with our Human Resource Director, Shelley Jasper. So with that, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion as you stated.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Kern. I forget who supported over here. Is that Commissioner Volrath? Commissioner Volrath has made the support. This is a roll call.
But before you take that roll call, just
Yes.
quickly to the board and to the public, I'm going to ask that the board allow us to stop the streaming, not knowing how long the closed session will go. The intent would be to halt the stream and allow Annette to get on to other duties. Is that acceptable?
That would be fine by me.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody okay? Yes, Commissioner Tyler.
When I was the county clerk, you did not at the Board of Commissioners pass the last 2 closed session minutes, so that you need to do this after that meeting.
So we'll be doing minutes for sure.
So you probably will have 3 sets that you need to approve, so that our new clerk doesn't have to maintain it and follow up.
Appreciate that. So we'll have the minutes to be able to approve from past closed sessions. Outside of that, I'm not sure that there will be any action taken, but strictly